Good evening, everyone. Happy Friday to you. I hope you've had an amazing week. I hope you're starting to wind down. Hopefully, you're on your way home, or maybe you're out eating or whatever. Maybe by the time you see this, you will already be having a weekend and getting into something other than work, hopefully. And so, for all those who are here, hi, Ann. Thank you for joining. And for everyone else who's starting to tune in, we're going to let this build out for just a little bit before we really start to dig into the material. But ultimately, it's that time of year. Spring is just around the corner, and because spring is just around the corner, it is time for us to start rehabilitating ourselves from the fall and winter. And what I mean by that is we tend to naturally eat heavier foods, especially if you live in cold environments, right? We tend to naturally eat heavier foods, more meats, more starches, because they're comforting, they're warming, they're soothing. And spring is coming. It's time of renewal. And that means we need to renew the gut. We need to renew the microbiome. We need to remove obstruction and get ready for fresh, light foods that are going to be coming in any minute now. They're already starting to show up and pop up. You see the greenery and all the new life, all the renaissance, all the rebirth. And these are the foods that we should start becoming naturally attracted to as they come back alive for us to take part in. However, if you have not cleansed your body ever, and a lot of people haven't, then you're likely chronically ill. Most people tend to have some type of chronic ailment or ailments when they have spent a life on this earth. And especially if you live in the United States and you've been eating the foods that we create here, as well as the food like substances that we create here, these don't exactly leave the body very easily. They leave behind lots of residue. They cause acidic buildup in the body, mucus, and this stuff starts to harden over time, and it gets enlarged in our liver, in our gallbladder, in our small intestine, and even in our large intestine, right? Because most of us have been convinced, even those that say, well, I get a colonic, right? I get colonics. Well, the colonics is maybe about a third of the digestive highway. And the big gaping hole in that whole thing is that a colonic cannot reach your small intestine. And that tends to be where most of the biggest problems lie. In fact, when you're dealing with any type of gut remediation, this is where most of the work is done. It's done in the small intestine. Because if that's not right, your large intestine is never going to be right. Okay? You got to remember, this is one system, it's all connected. And from the moment you start eating into the moment you release what you've eaten, there is codependency all the way through that system. And so, what I want to share with you today is information about the cleanse that's upcoming, and I'm going to repeat this a couple of times. I'll start now. Just know if you're not going to watch this all the way through, get over to the Facebook group called Cleanse Within. CLEANZ Within. Cleanse Within. And tomorrow I will be reactivating that group and sharing more materials and pricing and all the things. And that's where we're going to run this cleanse that's going to start on the 17th of March and run through the 24th. We're going to have 7 days together. Okay. And for some people that may get started a little late, we'll hang on for them too. I'll hang in there with you probably for about 10 days and make sure that you get your products, you get activated, you get moving, and you get amazing results. And so I've been cleansing people for almost 10 years. So I've helped hundreds and hundreds of people, maybe upwards of to thousands at this point. And I've used all different types of cleansing strategies. And I would tell you, to be very honest, when I first started doing digestive tract cleansing, we had very hard, rigid and long, arduous protocols that would literally cause you to have to basically make this your job for about 10 to 14 days, especially if you had any type of blood sugar irregularity or like you're hypoglycemic and things of that nature. You more than likely needed to go for 14 days and break up your protocol. And here's what I learned about that. Most people just don't make it through that because we are modern humans. And especially if we don't understand the real factors behind why we need to do this type of work, how we need to service our body and service our organs over time. This is one of our biggest works that we need to not only do once, but we need to do in repetition. So once you do actually go deep and you truly get all of the gunk out, now you have to maintain it, right? And go through seasonal cleansing. So this is actually what I call a seasonal cleanse, which should at least be done in the spring and in the fall. Okay, so we're cleaning out fall and winter, and by the time we get to the fall transitioning into winter, we're cleaning out the fall and summer, right? So this way we can, I'm sorry, the summer and some of the spring area, we're cleansing out and resetting the gut, right? Now, one of the biggest factors that contributes to a lot of buildup in the body that we need to cleanse out is just due to the fact of how we eat, okay? And what I mean by that is most of us have likely grown up eating large amounts of cooked food, and that presents a little bit of issue for us because um, cooked food leaves a lot more acidity in the body, and it leaves a lot more gunk left over and causes the body to express mucus and build up what we call mucoid plaque in the digestive system. And so this happens over a period of time, and it coats the inside of the digestive tract all over, literally from top to bottom. Okay. And it just expresses itself differently in how it looks and how it works all throughout the digestive tract. But trust, it is there. And the biggest reason that it's there is because you're eating foods that are cooked, which means they lack enzymes. And so every time we eat a cooked meal and we're not replenishing enzymes at a high level, we are losing enzymes to try to compensate for this quote unquote dead food because the food has been cooked so much. So there's not much life left in it. And so the natural enzymes that were present, that were there in the food in the first place, are now gone. And this is going to make us struggle to digest. And this doesn't matter what kind of diet you follow or so-called lifestyle you follow, whether you're carnivore, vegan, pescatarian, vegetarian. This is just the science of the human body and how it works. Okay. So we can remove all of that dogma and all of that judgment. This is just a human condition that we all need to approach. And it's going to absolutely enhance your vitality when you get into doing this type of foundational wellness work that we all must do. So I want you guys to take a quick look. I'm going to bring up some pictures. Okay. This is gross, but you need to see it. All right. This is gross. I'm going to show you some things, and I'm going to take this down in just a second. So I've warned you. Here's what's in your, likely in your body if you've never cleansed, if you're having hormone problems, bloating and gas, constipation, diarrhea. Your doctor's told you have gallstones. You have pain on the right side under your rib cage. When you eat fatty meals, you get uncomfortable there. There's quite a lot of symptoms that will show you exactly what's going on in the body and what some of these pictures represent that I'm going to share with you now, so that you know this is real. Because so many people who have no idea what they're talking about and don't do this for a living um, are quick to judge and say, oh, the body can just naturally detoxify itself. The body can just naturally remove this stuff. No, it doesn't. And because you weren't supposed to put that stuff in the body in the first place in the manner that you did, and we're talking about chemistry, and we're talking about biochemistry reaction, we're talking about acids, and body's reaction to protect you. The mucoid plaque that I'm going to show you is there to actually protect you from the toxins in the food and from the acids in the food that are being created by the way that we eat. Okay, by the way that we eat with proteins, with starches that tend to putrefy inside of the digestive system over time, right? So again, this is not pointing a finger at anyone about what you eat, but the fact that we have chemistry that we don't understand because we were never taught how to appropriately eat. Okay, and that's discerning, but we're all here learning, right? When I first started doing this, and I've been doing this for years for myself and my family, and of course my clients, listen, it is a big revelation when you get to see this stuff come out of your body that you've been holding on to 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 pounds of gunk. Do you have a lot of weight loss resistance? Do you have a lot of nutritional imbalances? Likely because you can't absorb anything with all this gunk in your digestive tract that you can't see. I often say it would be nice if we had a little door on our gut that we could just like open up and look and see what was going on in there, because I absolutely know that if we could see that, we'd stop doing at least half of the stuff that we think is okay with food. Okay, we would stop doing that, because you could actually see the damage and you could see the inflammation that's happening. You could see how long it was really taking that meal to pass through your digestive system. And you'd get this very straightforward understanding and you would connect to it. And this is exactly why I want to show you these pictures, because you need to connect to this. One of the things that I always encourage my clients to do when they're going through a cleanse is to capture what's coming out so you can see what's there. You need to see it and understand what your body's doing, why it's been hurting, how it's been hurting, why just doing a simple 5 or 6 day juice cleanse isn't going to knock it out. You have to go deeper. Okay. And I'm going to show you how we do that. Not just tonight, but I'm going to show you every single day during that cleanse. I'm going to educate you. I'm going to show you how to continue your journey, so that you can get the best results, because this is going to get you out the gate. You're going to have a revelation. You're going to get some understanding. You're going to get some context. And from that, you're going to know the truth about what's going on in your body. And that's going to be empowering. For some of you, it might be a little scary. People tend to get scared of cleansing because they don't want to believe that this stuff is actually going on in their body, which means they really don't want to face the fact that they brought harm to themselves. Okay. Most of us are doing this without knowing we're causing this level of harm. We might know that eating junk food isn't good, but when you see that this junk food isn't leaving your body, that kind of changes things in our own mind. And we need this opportunity to reflect and understand so we can accept the reality of what's going on with us and the choices that we are making, right? Because these choices matter. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys right now. So hopefully you can see this. And I'm going to run you through a series of pictures. And we're going to talk about some of these pictures. We won't go through all of them, but it's really to kind of just get real about, what's happening here. So let me drag this one over to the right screen. Bear with me for a second, because, this is how we got to do things. Okay, that's a close-up of mucoid plaque. This is from one of my clients. I'm not going to tell you who it is. Copyright infringements on the stuff coming out of their body. But this is real, you guys. This is the stuff that's building up all around your digestive system. This is what's causing and contributing to some of your autoimmune disorders, to your hormonal irregularities, to that constant feeling of fullness, to bacterial overgrowth issues. It's contributing to diverticulitis, IBD, IBS, SIFO, SIBO. And here's what I say, in my practice, I don't work with dirty clients. So one of the most important things that we do when you first start working with me is you go do this. Because why am I going to start working with you with food if you've been on the planet for over 40 years and you've never addressed this in your life? And you're wondering why you have all of these problems and why you keep picking up new medications. Okay? Because those medications don't get out either. They're stuck in your liver because your liver believes that that's toxic, because your medication is made from petrol, which is not a nutrient. Therefore, it's a toxin to the human body, and it won't let it just roll throughout the system. So when the liver sees it, it's going to pull it in. So you're going to see some things from the liver, but this is just coming out of the small intestine, guys. Okay? So that's coming out of the small intestine. That's kind of gross, right? Of course it is. This is another shot of that substance. And mucoid plaque doesn't just look like this. It can also look like black flakes coming out. And of course, we haven't even mentioned parasites. Parasites love to live here. Okay? So They love to plant their seeds in here. They love to coat themselves in this stuff. So they're very difficult to find by the immune system, if at all. And so one of the most important steps in doing a parasite cleanse is removing the environment that they're thriving in as much as you can. Now, you can't go remove your liver, but you can start cleansing the liver and getting things out of there that they're feeding on in the liver. Here, they're feeding on this stuff and other food particles and things and eating up acids that are in here to try to protect you. Your parasites are actually trying to help you, not harm you. They're there to help fix or try to course correct the imbalances that you've brought into your body over time and over the years. Okay. This is just more shots of that. Now look at the color changes. Now we got more green sitting into here, which is likely, congealed and nasty bile soot coming from the liver. And the liver is so important to balancing your gut because your liver helps control the pH balance of your gut when it has proper bile flow that comes from it to help you digest your food. But if that liver is in distress, you're not going to get the right concentration levels of bile to come and support proper food breakdown. And you're going to end up with a mess like this residing in you for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years. Some people who've never cleansed themselves and they're dying when they're 75, 80. They're full of this stuff. Okay. And you don't have to take my word for it. You can go look at some autopsy reports. Okay. When they do this kind of stuff, they see this stuff all the time, all the time. So this isn't anything to be um, embarrassed about. This is a natural occurrence from the lifestyle that we've ensued here while we've been on the planet. We've been taught to eat by our parents and by society. But when you get down to some of this, woo, look at that. That's some gross stuff. Okay. And I can definitely see some parasitic stuff going on in there. Okay. And we'll keep just kind of scrolling through this. Right. And if you have questions, please go ahead and drop it right here. Okay. We're trying to get you to understand the reality of what's going on and why everybody is so darn sick. You know, being a former military guy, I look at things a little differently. And when I realized when I started studying as a practitioner how critical this digestive system was, I started calling it the central processing unit. Okay. Because I also have a pretty strong background in network engineering and IT. And so I tend to look and map the body in that way. That's just kind of how my mind works. My dad was an engineer, his dad was an engineer. So we have a lot of engineers in our family. And so I kind of picked up that neurological pathway of thinking. And it really helps me with my clients in the way that I approach helping them rectify themselves. So when we are moving into yes, it will go down the toilet, no problem. That is a strainer. That's just a dollar store strainer. And that's what I ask all my clients to get so they can witness what's being released, right? So you need to see this. And I actually have them send me these pictures so I can help them analyze what's going on because I'll learn a lot about their lifestyle. I'll learn a lot about their health history and be able to denote some things. Sometimes I see these big pools of candida come out in like a big cloud of mucousy white gunky stuff, right? And all of a sudden they're starting to feel better. You know, a lot of people when they go through these kind of cleanses that I'm going to tell you about today, they start having very dramatic benefits literally within a couple of days. Some people have reported back to me, some of the top ones are like, I'm sleeping better than I have in 20 years. My heartburn, my GERD has completely resolved in 48 to 72 hours after doing this cleanse. My inflammation is down. I don't have brain fog anymore, right? My butt has stopped itching, okay? And more and more. There's so many bennies to this. One specific act that you can't ignore this. This is one of the biggest humps that you could get over. And the best part is, it's not hard. I used to have to do this kind of work, like I said, for 10 to 14 days. And literally, it was a job. You literally had to take a bunch of different things and pull them all together, a bunch of vitamins to support you along the way to make sure everything is moving. You absolutely had to do enemas at least twice a day, one in the morning and one at night. And if you're not so comfortable with sticking something up your butt, which I do still recommend, I am a holistic person, and I do believe in using enemas in the appropriate time. And when you are cleansing, If you can handle it, you should do it. It will only enhance your cleansing ability. But yes, this is the real deal. And now what we're starting to get into are liver stones and gallstones, right? Does one need to prepare to stay home for the entire 7 days? No. And that's the most beautiful part about this. So when you're doing what I call the one cleanse is just a gut cleanse. And your protocol is literally 1 day. So you start on a Saturday morning and you take all your stuff all day until that evening. And then the next day and a few days after that, you're going to start releasing this stuff. Okay. Now, the other version combines a gut portion and a liver portion, which goes for 7 days. But again, this is not something that you're going to have to be worried about. I got to stand next to the bathroom every day. This is not a diuretic cleanse. This is an enzymatic therapeutic cleanse, which means you're actually cleansing with real food. And these enzymes that you've been lacking, they get into the digestive tract and they start sticking all over the digestive tract and eating away all this old built up food particles and gunk and funk. And it starts to release from the sides of your intestines and releasing itself through your stool. And that's a beautiful thing because this is not hard. This is like ancient wisdom delivered in a modern platform for the modern human who's very busy. Most of my clients are extremely busy people. And this is why I'm so attracted and love this product line because it helps people get the results that they really need without shutting down their life. Okay? Just a little bit of inconvenience, a little bit of self love to do this kind of work, and you're going to get some dramatic potential. Okay. So once we start doing that liver gallbladder part of the cleanse, if you choose to do that one, you're going to start to see these stones come out. Do you know in this year alone, I have helped at least 6 people save themselves from gallbladder surgery. 6 people. And it's only March. Isn't that crazy? Because that's like the number fifth, I think, most elective surgery now. Because they're just lining people up because they know our gallbladders are full of all this gunk and all these stones. And as soon as you go into the hospital with some pain, they're going to go, oh my God, they're going to scare you with pancreatitis. You got pancreatitis, you got gallstones. We need to get in there and rip it out. Right. And now when they go about your gallbladder, you just lost a very important body part for the rest of your life. And now you're going to need to eat differently and supplement differently for the rest of your life. But they're not even going to tell you that because they don't care. Okay, I care. I get a lot of people, over half my clients come in now without a gallbladder. And so I have to show them how to eat and how to supplement in order to stay in the most optimal manner possible because they're never going to have the proper concentration of bile flowing through their digestive tract ever again in their life. And so they're always going to struggle in this area and they're going to need more enzymes. They're going to need more additional bile. Whether you're vegan or like it or not, you're going to need ox bile with pancreatin supplements to help you break down your food because your gallbladder reservoir, where you're supposed to be having an abundant amount of bile and specific concentration levels that are ready release every time you eat, that's no longer available. So now we're just shooting out bile directly from the liver in hopes that it's going to be enough. And it never is. It just never is because you weren't designed that way. Check this out. We call this like gallbladder sand. And what this is this is dissolved gallstones. That's what we're looking at here. And it's sandy and it's gritty, right? And so this is what makes this product work so well. I've seen gallstones come out of people almost the size of golf balls with this product with no pain. Because what the enzymes do is they get into that gallbladder and they start breaking it down and they start gellifying the gallbladders and it dilates the bile duct so that they can slip nice and easy through that bile duct without causing you bent over, healed over pain. And they will ease themselves through the digestive tract and come on out and you'll see them and you'll witness them. And that's why this is so critical for people to learn about and know about. Because if you have not done this work and you have been eating meat and pasta and potatoes and beans and all the things and Doritos. This is all the food I ate, y'all. I'm not judging you. I've been there. All the ice cream and the poor management of the way that we put foods together because they taste great and they give us all this excitotoxin opportunity that lights us up and makes us happy, right? Because there's no such thing as non-emotional eating. All food turns on hormones. Okay. So this is not a poke at anybody. This is help, right? You see this right here that I'm poking at? That's a gallstone in the midst of all this other broken down grit and sand that's been living in this person's body. And like we get more and more and more. This is the same person, y'all. Look at all this stuff coming out. And this is not the product. This is not the product. This is actually stones. Okay? This is what's going on with you and why you feel like hot garbage no matter what you do. This is why some of my clients come to me who are actually working out in the gym, trying to eat right, but they can't get right. They're like, man, something's off. Like, why do I have to fight so hard? I've been going to the gym like a beast for this many years, but my gut's still kind of not right. Like, why is it still poking out and swollen? I can't quite get that packed the way I want it to look. Because it's full of this stuff. Okay? It's full and it's stagnating and it's slowing you down and it's robbing you of energy. Okay? That's gross. I know. I'm sorry, but not sorry because you need to know the truth. Because your doctor's not going to ever tell you about this. Ever, ever, ever. It's not going to happen. Okay? Because they just want to cut you and take your organs. They're going to wait for you to come in there after you had some barbecue, right? At the cookout this summer, and that's the one that puts you over the edge. And I'm giving you this example because I have a client right now who that happened to last year. And that's how I met her. I met her in the hospital. She called me from the hospital because another client said, you need to call Ken right now because they're going to try to take your organs and you don't need to do that. She still has her organs and she's been moving this crap out of her body. It's not rocket science at all. This is just therapeutic enzyme work that's getting into your body at a high concentration level to help you do the work that should have been done when you were eating that food in the first place. But you were already deficient. You weren't eating enough raw foods to maintain your enzymatic levels. This stuff ages us like nobody's business. Okay? So let me tell you a little bit more about the cleanses. I'm going to take that down for now. Okay? And I'm actually going to bring up something else that I want you guys to see because we're going to talk a little bit more about, let me see, let me get this finger right. Enzymes right here. We're going to talk a little bit more about what enzyme deficiency looks like, right? Because it's masquerading as all these other problems that your doctors want to give you drugs for. Okay? And let me bring that up first. I want to get in there and then we're going to talk a little bit more about the differences in the products and what the protocol is going to be like that I recommend. So let's start with skin condition, right? And I'm going to go ahead and see if I can pull this up and share it with you guys again. All right, give me a second so that you can kind of see this. Share screen. And we probably won't even be here the whole hour, okay? I just want to get you in here, make sure you get into the group, because if you're going to get engaged, you're going to have to take action within the next 24 to 48 hours to ensure that your products arrive on time, and so that we can begin next Sunday as a group and support each other as you go through this new experience. Because if you've never done this, you're going to experience some things. You're going to want some support. You're going to want to know you're not the only weird person out here trying to get right. And I get it because I did all mine by myself. Okay. And it was nice when I finally found some people that were into this and they had a tribe, because I didn't stop at one cleanse. I still cleanse. I'll be cleansing when you cleanse. And I fast regularly. I do multiple cleanses throughout the year, because once you recognize the levels of filth that build up in your body, we've got quite a bit of work to do. Okay. So starting a cleansing journey is that you're starting a journey. Your body is going to allow you to release so much at a time, but you will get an amazing effect. You'll get started. Your body will appreciate it. You start eating more enzymatic foods at a higher level, start reducing your cooked foods over time. And the next time you do a cleanse, your body's going to release more. and more, and you're going to feel better, and your skin's going to get better. So when digestion and metabolic activity decrease and food waste remains in the intestine, bacteria convert undigested food into toxins and gas, which are then absorbed through the intestinal wall. That sounds like leaky gut. Have you heard of leaky gut? Now you kind of know where it's coming from. What this not saying directly is that's directly related to candida, because candida can put its hyphae through anything in the human body and start breaking up that intestinal lining. Okay, and now we've got things getting out of the digestive tract that shouldn't be getting out. Where's it going? It's getting into the lymphatic system. It's getting into your blood system, and it's causing quote unquote autoimmune disease. So ladies, hear me out. Hear me out right now. Don't miss this. You are not going to heal your thyroid completely until you heal your gut. You're not going to heal your thyroid completely until you get your liver cleaned up to get that T3 and T4, that T3, T4 conversion working appropriately. This is your endocrinologist is never going to talk about this. And this is a big piece of that puzzle. Okay? So you have a lot to gain from this experience. Take this walk. We all need to do this, and we need to get accustomed to having to do this work. Okay? It's nothing to be ashamed about. It's just something we have to do. All right? Let's get the next one up. Here's another warning sign. So we know this is going to come from 5 different signs. So we're going to talk about that, right? Health issues warnings for the body that enzymes are running low, right? And this, remember, enzymes are what run function in the human body. They're not just things that break down food, okay? Enzymes can convert, when they're proper abundance, they can convert over to systemic and metabolic enzymes in the body. They also have a direct correlation to minerals, and minerals helping create these enzymes in proper fashion. So when your minerals are low, your enzyme's going to be low, your digestive is going to be poor, your conversion is going to be poor. All of these things are connected, right? Obesity, low enzyme activity results in more fat being stored in the body. I'll say it again. Low enzyme activity results in more fat being stored in the body. But I'm hitting all my macros, Ken. It doesn't matter if this isn't working. And so you're like, dang, my macro coach is a fluke. No, your gut is just a mess. And that's kind of really what it is. So again, the Facebook group you need to get into is Cleanse Within. CLEANZ within. A lack of enzymes causes the metabolism to slow down, resulting in a sluggish lymphatic system and edema swelling. You know, below the hips, you get all that heavy leg going on. You got big old swollen, wrinkly calves going on, right? This weight gain and can trigger the development of other diseases. Let's keep going. Now, my men, I really want you to listen up if you're on this call, because they are ripping your intestines out like it's just the thing to do. Okay? Aging of the intestine, buildup of bad bacteria in the gut, lack of enzymes present in the digestive tract equals levels of good bacteria weakening and falling off, and the bad bacteria increasing and causing more damage. These symptoms include trouble releasing. You're constipated. You can't get stuff out. You know, another thing might be like you get these really small, thin bowel stools, right? Because your pipe is clogged up. And so your pipe gets tighter and tighter and tighter because you got all this buildup in there. Okay? Frequent diarrhea, bloating, gas, noisy intestines, and just extremely toxic smelling stools. Okay? And you're like, dang, that's me. Whew, I got to get up out of here. Okay? This is real. Now you're getting to understand a bit more why. You know, why is this happening? Because most of us just don't think anything about it. Most of us think our stomachs are like garbage disposals. We just throw anything in there, and the body's going to take care of it, and everything's going to be fine. It's not going to be fine, right? We're causing distress, we're causing disorder, and we're causing dis-ease. Fecal matter that remains in the body for too long often leads to emotional upset and sensitivity. Trouble defecating also causes blood flow to increase, creating a hot face and hot feelings. Hello, menopausal symptoms and dizziness. It's not just your adrenal glands out there that people are claiming that's why you're dizzy. It's not just your electrolytes are off. It's this stuff. And some of that emotional upset and sensitivity, that's because of the toxins that can't get out of your body. And you're in a toxemia state. And you've got these gases flowing up through the body into your head, right? They can't get out. And so now you have brain fog. Now you have short memory issues. The list kind of goes on from there. And the most important one is you are tired all the time. You start getting fatigued easily, okay? Because if food cannot be effectively absorbed due to low levels of enzymes, the body begins to lack the nutrients. The immune system ends up weakened and one feels very low on energy. Can't drink enough coffee, can't drink enough monsters, okay? And you're just tired and you're depleted and you're broken down. Again, the group that you guys need to get over to is Cleanse Within. CLEANZ Within. Okay? Come in that group, go there tonight. There's already links. That group is already loaded. I do this a couple times a year where I go into that group, we'll run a cleanse, and then we won't shut it down because I want you to have access to it, but we just won't be very active there. So let's get active there. Okay? I'll be in there tomorrow making some posts, making sure you can pick the right cleanse kits for yourself, because you may want to go all in. You're like, Ken, I've never cleansed my liver, I've never cleansed my gut, and you saying I can do this in 7 days and get a nice result. You can. You absolutely can. I'll also be sharing with you about how you can do juicing through this program as well, and how you can get all your juicing done for you, no matter where you live. It can be delivered right to your house. And I'm talking about juice as if you squeezed it yourself right in your house with no downgrades, right? It's going to be freshly squeezed. It's going to be completely 100% organic fruits and herbs that are going to be there, right? It's going to be packaged perfectly, not in plastic, but actually in glass. So it's almost like just like doing it at home, except you don't have to do it. So for those people that want that level of exchange in their cleanse, I'll be talking more about that tomorrow. I may be even sharing a video that I did with the lady who makes these juices. She's made an incredible stand for herself to not take any shorts with this process. And so I really appreciate her for stepping into that. Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing my screen now, and we're just about to wrap this up. Okay, so I'm gonna check the comments. If you have questions, drop your questions in here. Okay, but before I go, let me go ahead and grab a link just for the people that want to start digging, because I know we don't want to wait. We are impatient people. So I'm gonna grab a link for you so you can start researching this company. Okay, and this is traditional Chinese medicine enzymatic food. You're not putting any chemicals in your body here, okay? You're putting food in your body that aligns with your body to help you get the deepest, safest cleanse without aggression. Most cleanses out here are very aggressive, and because of that aggressiveness, people fear them, number one. And number two, they are just really beat down from the experience. Now, that's not to say that you're not going to go through some level of energy exchange through this, and that you might need to just modify your behavior for a week, just a little bit, to make sure that you're allowing your body to gently cleanse itself and do that work, and not try to keep the exact same lifestyle and go work out twice a day and go out and party all night. Get some more rest that week. Serve yourself that week. Okay? So let me pull this up for you guys real quick. Which one? Here we go. So I'll take this link right here. I'm going to drop this right in the chat. And can you post the group link? I can try. So let me see if I can pull that for you up next. So this is the link to the products first. And the name of this company is called Zen Cleanse. And I aligned with them when they first started selling this product in the United States. And I went crazy on these things because I had been doing all these traditional hard cleanses. And my job is to help my clients win. And when they fail, and a lot of people won't even tell you this, but the average failure rate of most like so-called juice cleanses is like over 50%. It's high. That's why people don't get well when they're trying to do that. And nor do I necessarily recommend that you should be juice cleansing for 6 months to a year. Not when you can use more powerful tool sets that are safe and that can get you over the hump to really get you down deep and get this stuff removed in a matter of weeks versus months on end. Doesn't that sound better? And who wants to drink juice for the rest of their life? There's some people that do. I'm not one of them. Okay? I don't I don't really roll that way. And I don't think that's the way that most people want to roll in life. And so part of my job is not sticking dogma or any one way approach on any individual. It's to have options and to really appeal to how you want to live and how you can live at the level of health that you desire and at the level of joy that you desire in your life, but understanding the pros and cons of your choices so that you can become conscious of them and manage them better. So now let me go over to Facebook and see if I can grab you that link to the group, because I might as well serve. I'm here, right? So let's pull this thing up and we'll get you right over there to the link. And again, it's Cleanse Within, CLEANZ Within. And I will see you guys there tomorrow because my babies is out. So I'm about to go date my wife tonight. Okay? I'm about to go date my wife tonight since someone is taking my kids to the movies. And thank you so much. Okay? So there we go. So now the Facebook group is popping up down there. So you got the Facebook group. You can jump over there. Okay? Tomorrow, I'm going to really try to activate you to get moving because I want you to get your products ordered so that by Monday, we are off to the races and things are shipping. Shipment typically takes about 3 to 4 days to get here, maybe 5, but we'll still have 1 or 2 days before we got to get into the actual cleanse. And then I'm going to be sending out a video on Saturday to show you how to get your instructions for your cleanse, how to set yourself up appropriately, and all the things so that you're properly prepared to do this work. I will also be sharing some additional things that you can do besides your cleanse to kind of boost your cleanse even more if you choose to. Okay? And I'll be there to support you and answer your questions. You should have lots of questions. And it's good because you want to learn this. You want to teach this to your family. Oh, yeah. Are you a Gen Xer? You got people up in their 70s and 60s, and you're trying to make sure that they're not like getting crazy and losing it. Get them this kit. Get them moving in this direction. It will help. It will help get some of the medications out of their hands, okay, and make them easier for you to work with, and you can see them live more vibrantly. And that's what we all want at the end of the day. It's not about just living here a long time. It's about the quality of how we live here. And once you start working on restoring the enzymes in your body on a deep level, allowing them to come, you can't rejuvenate appropriately with a clogged up digestive system. Once someone has compromised your central processing unit, you're open up for so many problems. Okay? Everything leads back here, guys. Between the digestive tract and the gut and the liver, everything leads back here. And that's why this work is some of the most critical foundational work that if you're working with any so-called holistic, naturopathic, naturalist or whatever, and they're not concerned about this area of your wellness and investigating this, they're working in dirty waters, which means all of their approaches are going to be 20, 30% effective at best for the most part. That's what I'm saying. Okay. So a lot of us end up wasting a lot of time going from practitioner to practitioner to practitioner because they're not willing to do this foundational work and make sure that you get it all done, or you're only getting pieces of it done because you're only focused on the colon. That's not enough. The big highway is all that small intestine that's wrapped up and turned all over the place. That's really about almost 2/3 of your digestive system that's untouched because the colonic can't reach there. So you've got to go in with other strategies to get that stuff out. Okay. So that's really it for the night. This isn't meant to be some kind of, wazoo thing. This is just about making you aware and getting you into the community so that we can get you activated. Maybe it's time for you to do it this time. If not now, maybe you'll just know, hey, I got a resource here. I can reach out to Ken if I'm ready to get started, even if it's not this next week, and I can make this happen for myself. So let me tell you how a week will go. So if you end up doing the full week and you end up doing both the liver and the gut, and I'll share those kits with you and let you know exactly what those kits are tomorrow. Okay. Then here's how it rolls. On day one, you do all your digestive tract enzymes. You take all this stuff all day, about every hour on the hour, and you're drinking a nice warm glass of water in between. So you're loading your body with these insoluble fibers and soluble fibers along with enzymes so that they swell and start taking up space and sticking all over your digestive tract, all over your intestines and coating it. And then those enzymes are like little Pac-Man. They start chomping away at all the gunk and funk that's been sitting in there for years on end that you're unaware of. Like that old, there's a donut in there. There's some old McDonald's from back in the day and some French fries that still haven't digested, still stuck in your intestines. Okay, so they're going to start chopping that stuff up, right? And then the next day, if you cannot eat, don't eat. Okay. If you need to eat, just juice or maybe just warm water. Try to water fast that day. I'll be talking you guys through different strategies for that. And if you can go another day, great. Right. And then if you have to eat, then maybe we're just going to use some nice watery fruits like maybe melon or maybe some grapes, right? Nice and light so that these enzymes can really do their work and start chomping this stuff up. Now we do that for basically 5 days. And on day 6, that's when we're going to do a full day of protocol again. We'll be on a Saturday, right? So we started on a Saturday for the first build up. Now we're on that next Saturday for the next build up for the liver. And so we load up on enzymes all day to support the liver. We're going to need to be a little closer to the toilet that day because we're putting in some natural diuretics to make sure that that bile duct dilates and that your back end is flushing out well. Because when we start releasing stones and gunk from the liver, that stuff is toxic and we do not want it sitting in your body very long. We want it moving out the body swiftly. Okay, we don't want any obstruction there. And that's it. And then the next day, you'll probably want to stay around a toilet and allow this stuff to flow on out. And you're going to have day after day where you're going to consistently see more things keep coming out. And then I can also recommend to you some supportive packs of enzymes to kind of keep this party going for as long as possible. I'm even going to tell you how to use your kits to extend them by a couple of days. So if you want to go past 7 days, you can go to like 10 days and get even more benefit out of these kits. All right. So that's really it for this evening. I'm so appreciative that you guys came in here. Spread the news, share this group with other people you know. Get them in this group. It's the time of year to do this work. All of you tried to kick it off in January and you failed miserably because it's not the time for us to be doing that kind of work. This is the time when the sun is coming back to us and reinvigorating us and re-energizing us. You feel anew now when spring comes because that's the real new year. So this is the time to start your resolutions if you're that kind of person. This is the time to start doing something new and start activating yourself because it's going to feel more natural to do so. It's not freezing outside and all those things. Okay. So there you have it. I'm Ken Newbill, the health transformation specialist. And I want you to always remember that wellness is within you. Take care and have a great night.